Good evening and welcome to ICA TV Main News. We'll take a look at the stories making headlines. 40 million US dollar tobacco processing facility to strengthen Kawa's economy. Zambia moves to develop national generative AI in education policy. Commerce Minister engages poultry sector on industry development. In our international news, Libyan war crimes suspect arrested in Germany under ICC warrant. And in our sports news, Nigeria defeats Zambia 5-0 in WAFCON 2024 quarter final. To bring the news to you in details, my name is Dolosera Mary. A tobacco processing facility valued at 40 million US dollar is nearing completion in Kawa's Central Province. Kawa District Commissioner Lennox Shimwamba recently visited the ongoing construction of the Great Leaf Tobacco Processing Plant. Mr. Shimwamba expressed gratitude to President Hakainde Hichilema for fostering a business-friendly environment that attracts continued investments. The Ministry of Education has emphasized the urgent need for a national framework to govern the use of generative artificial intelligence (AI) technologies in Zambia's higher education system. Acting Director of University Education, Mr. Brian Makufule, made the remarks when he officially opened and later closed the two-day National Generative AI in Education Policy Drafting workshop held at Mulungushi University, Great North Road campus in Kawe. Mr. Makufule says tools such as ChatGPT and DeepSeek are evolving faster than curricular relations and, in some cases, national awareness. He expressed concerns that many students are already using AI tools without proper guidance, often ahead of lectures and institutions, in the absence of established national standards. Mr. Makufule highlights key challenges, including academic dishonesty linked to AI, data privacy risks, and digital inequality, warning that institutions unable to adapt may face collapse similar to what occurred during the COVID-19 pandemic. He emphasizes the urgent need for training, reskilling, and digital readiness, describing the workshop as a vital step towards a unfilled national AI policy in education.
We all agree that the challenges before us are complex. At the top of the list is the erosion of academic integrity, plagiarism, auto-generated submissions, and impersonation, which are all becoming harder to detect and harder to prevent without clear rules and systems in place. We cannot hold students or staff accountable. This is a challenge, ladies and gentlemen, that we have before us. We gain in our various situations as individuals or as institutions face the question of data security. Many AI tools are hosted abroad, raising serious concerns about the privacy of student records, research materials, and institutional intellectual property. As a nation, we must be vigilant in protecting our own academic integrity and sovereignty. Ladies and gentlemen, we may not like our...
Meanwhile, Mr. Makufule outlines expectations for the draft policy, including clear usage guidelines, an implementation framework, institutional alignment, and broad consultation. Mr. Makufule thanks all stakeholders and urges participants to ensure AI is adopted responsibly, inclusively, and wisely.
Relevant to the application of AI in our institutions of learning. Ladies and gentlemen, we must all recognize that this journey that we have started has not been without its own challenges. As many of you noted and attested to the rapid and uncoordinated effort of AI tools by students and faculty, often without adequate support of regulatory bodies in our work here at University. We have seen and have been with the Higher Education Authority. As a ministry, we have taken note of the commitment that has gone on in the work that has been undertaken during these 2 days. We are grateful to the management of Namwala University in spearheading collaborative engagement among higher education institutions, industry, and development partners, more especially
Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mulenga, held discussions today with the Poultry Association of Zambia to review the state of poultry sector and explore strategies for its advancement. In the meeting, Mr. Mulenga underscored the value of strong partnership between government and the private sector to ensure that the nation's economic progress directly benefits consumers. He pointed to the government's strides in achieving economic stability, referencing the recent drop in fuel prices, sustained low inflation, and a more stable exchange rate as indicators of progress. Mr. Mulenga also highlights government's effort in ensuring constant availability of key grains like maize and soybeans, which are vital inputs in poultry farming. He assures stakeholders that current grain production levels are sufficient to meet the sector's demand, adding that the government remains focused on supporting farmers and easing production costs. Despite these efforts, the minister acknowledges ongoing challenges, particularly the elevated cost of feed, which continues to strain poultry producers. He urges industry players to align with the government's stabilization measures and take steps to lower production expenses. Mr. Mulenga also notes encouraging signs with companies such as Tiger Feeds, Novatech, and Zamfeed, which have begun reducing their prices, a move he described as a step in the right direction. Meanwhile, Poultry Association of Zambia CEO Dominic Chanda thanked the government for its timely interventions in approving the importation of 300,000 metric tons of maize, which helped address the recent maize shortage. Mr. Chanda says the quick decision sufficiently eased pressure on the sector.
Even for the rains that we had, we've got enough grain on the market, and the government is now yet to move in to start purchasing the over 3 million metric tons of maize that we have. I think last year we did about 100,000 plus metric tons of soybeans, and I think we've done it almost double that this year. It's almost the same with wheat and other things. So now there's still a cry and call out there in the market. When are we seeing stock feed reducing? Because if stock feed reduces, then we'll see even the price of chickens at the markets, on the shelves, start reducing. Because government can not only reduce fundamentals for business players, but we don't pass on the benefits to homes.
And in that particular meeting, I think we assured you to say, I think there will be stability in the prices. And I'm sitting here to be a very happy person because looking at the numbers that we had last year in terms of maize production, I think we had about 1.5 million metric tons. We had 157,000 metric tons of soya. Industry requirement for soya is between 220 and 250,000 metric tons. We use close to about almost 500 to 600,000 metric tons of maize. And given that, because we are competing with humans and industrial use and animal, definitely there was a challenge. If the government had not allowed that 300,000 metric tons to come in, I think we could have been in a worse situation than we are. And as such, we actually applaud government for that decisive, very fast move in terms of making decisions. And we believe that going forward, when we have challenges like that, I think that should be the route forward. For this particular year, Honorable Minister, I think as my colleagues have indicated, the signals are all going, I think, towards reducing the cost of production. We are very happy that in the past 2 months, we've seen the kwacha moving from green.
We're taking our first break. Please stay tuned for more news in our local stories.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development. Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center.
Welcome back, and in our local stories, Patriotic Front PF Pamba Ward Councillor in Lundazi constituency, William Piri, has publicly declared his support for President Hakainde Hichilema's bid for re-election in 2026, pointing to tangible development gains in his area under the current administration. Mr. Piri commends the UPND government for its developmental efforts, stating that progress in Pamba Ward under President Hichilema's leadership deserves acknowledgement. He expressed confidence that the ongoing projects will bring meaningful transformations to his community. Among the initiatives, he praised the Cash for Work programs and Enhanced Community Development Fund, CDF, which he described as impactful and beneficial for the people. Mr. Piri made these remarks during a media briefing held at John Star Lodge in Lundazi earlier today.
The people of Mpamba Ward, I just want to say some few things. I won't take much of your time. First of all, I just want to highlight some few things which I feel I should share with the people of Mpamba Ward. Let me first start by thanking the government. Let me say thanks to the New Dawn government for the development I'm going to highlight here. First of all, I thank the government for making sure that the 1x3 classroom block at Kabinda, the Mpamba Day, was completed. Also, the construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Fiofio.
Still in our local news, governance specialist Ngandwe Monataji has encouraged Zambians to evaluate the performance of the current UPND administration using evidence-based indicators rather than emotions or assumptions. In a statement shared with ICTV, Mr. Monajiti emphasized the importance of reviewing critical metrics such as the national gross domestic product (GDP) growth to assess economic progress. He highlights that factors like national productivity and the overall business climate serve as essential benchmarks in understanding how well the government is performing. Mr. Mwanajiti also pointed to the exchange rate, agricultural output, and delivery of social services as key components that deserve close scrutiny, while acknowledging the variant public opinions on the administration's track record. He reminded the public that no government, locally or globally, has ever fully met the expectations of all its citizens. He further notes that every ruling party in Zambia's history has made errors, and therefore expecting flawless governance from the UPND would be unrealistic. Kawamba recently came live as the long-awaited 2025 Luapula Provincial Junior Engineers, Technicians and Scientists Fair finally kicked off at the Kawamba Provincial STEM School. The event, which had been delayed from its initial June 20th SEJU, brought together learners from all 12 districts of the province under the theme Fostering Innovations and Creativity in STEM for a sustainable future.
Luapula Province has come alive with youthful creativity as the 2025 Provincial Junior Engineers, Technicians and Scientists Fair officially begins at Kawamba Provincial STEM School. Originally scheduled for 20th June, the fair experienced a delay, but now the passion and participation of learners remain as strong as ever. Students, teachers, judges and stakeholders from all 12 districts across the province are now gathered in Kawamba, eager to share and explore scientific innovations aimed at transforming their communities and the nation at large. Though the official opening and closing ceremonies are now rescheduled and will be held together on Thursday, 17th of July 2025, the fair is already in motion. Judges have begun reviewing select projects, and learners are actively presenting their innovations in science, engineering, and practical skills. Fostering innovation and creativity in STEM for a sustainable future reflects Zambia's growing push to equip youth with the knowledge and tools to solve real-world problems. At the heart of this mission is the Zambia Research and Development Center, ZRDC. Mrs. Keresia Taranike tells ICU TV that the institution is committed to empowering youth Zambians through research, science, and mentorship.
As we all know, that Zambia Research and Development Center is anchored on finding innovations, supporting those innovations and growing them to the point where they are helpful to our country's not only economic growth, but equally the economic development. So here, where we are, ZRDC, we've come to look for ground root innovations, where we are able to tap innovations from the very little girls and boys from secondary schools. We look at those innovations, the ones interesting and the ones viable. We pick them up, we take them up, we sponsor them, and we see them contributing to not only the national development, but also trying to hit and provide a solution to the much needed questions, both socially and economically, that Zambia is facing.
She adds that ZRDC is working in partnership with the Information and Communications University, offering 100% sponsorship and cash prizes to select participants. Mr. Moffat Sichinga, Deputy Regional Organizer of the Luapula Jets Fair, shares that this year's event also highlights hands-on learning and practical skills.
Kawamba Provincial STEM School. We are delighted. You are aware that JETS indeed triggers critical analytical thinking among learners, and after being postponed for so many months, now that it has been allowed, we are happy. So you can see we have learners participating in various categories here in Kawamba. So many districts, about 12 participating. Behind me you can see this is a skills category, that is civil engineering, where we have our learners doing the flower lawns, We have also participants participating in fashion technology. Remember, fashion this year, we are doing a uniform, trying to tell the nation that indeed learners are innovative. They can do and solve the problems of uniforms within school without even stressing.
You're still watching ICTV main news. We take a short break, and coming up next is international and sports news. Stay tuned.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back, and in our international news, a Libyan man suspected of committing war crimes and crimes against humanity has been arrested in Germany on a warrant issued by the International Criminal Court (ICC). Khalid Mohammed Ali El-Hishri, commonly known as Il-Bute, has allegedly to have been one of the most senior officials at the Mechidi prison complex in the capital, Tripoli, where thousands of people were detained. He is suspected of having committed, ordered, or overseen crimes including murder, torture, and rape. The atrocities were allegedly committed in the detention unit near Tripoli in the 5 years from 2015. There is no record of him commenting on the allegations. Still in our international news, Israel has demolished thousands of buildings across Gaza since its withdrawal from the ceasefire with the Hamas in March, with entire towns and suburbs, once home to tens of thousands of people, leveled in the past few weeks. Satellites images show massive amounts of disruptions in several areas, which Israel's military command claimed to have under operation control. Large swaths of it have been caused by the planned demolitions, both to already damaged buildings and ones that appeared largely intact. Verified footage show large explosions unleashing plumage of dust and debris as Israel forces carry out controlled demolitions on tower blocks, schools, and other infrastructures. We take a short break. Stay tuned for sports news in the next stories.
Did you know that mental health conditions are treatable and recovery is possible? Hi, I'm Ngenea Febamoyo. I'm your host on Let's Talk Mental Health. I invite you all to this show where you freely express yourself, and together we find a solution. For more details, you can contact 0777 93 73 92, and we'll be there to help you find solutions to whatever you're going through.
I've been waiting to hear from you. And I've been watching over you. When you woke up this morning, I was ready to hear from you, but you woke up and chose to devote your time to the multitudes that couldn't be less bothered by your misery. I knew you when you took your first breath, knew you when no one else did. I stood by you on your first day of school, and stood by you when you felt burdened by the troubles of this world. I knew you, my child, and I was there for you through it all.
Welcome back, and now in our sports news, Nigeria has secured a dominant 5-0 victory over Zambia in the Total Energy WAFCON 2024 quarter-finals, ending the Copper Queen's journey in the tournament. Earlier in the March, Zambia made 2 substitutions. Mercy Chipasula came for Priska Chilufya, while Martha Tembo replaced Mapalo Malua as they attempted to fight back. Despite their efforts, the Copper Queens were unable to break through Nigeria's solid defense. That sports item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, let's take a quick recap on the stories that made headlines. $40 million tobacco processing facility to strengthen Kabwe's economy. Zambia moves to develop national generative AI in education policy. Commerce Minister engages poultry sector on industry development. And in our international news, Libyan war crime suspects arrested in Germany under ICC warrant. And in our sports news, Nigeria defeats Zambia 5-0 in WAFCON 2024 quarter-final. Thank you so much for watching. For more news, stay glued to our Facebook page at ICUTV and our website at icutv.com.